Good morning. Welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, I know this is one of those passionate topics that we're talking about today. You know, there's a lot of conversation in our community about the anatomy of a homicide report, and we know that prevention is so much better than intervention. One of the ways, a key component of that is really the human services organizations.
Oh, absolutely. Shonda, you know, one of the things we found out, you talk about the anatomy of a homicide, we found out that we've got services in our community. We have lots of services, and what we need to do is to garner all those services together and try to figure out how we can coordinate as a group as opposed to individual organizations, how we can then have a plan that's a unified plan that involves all our providers and our law enforcement partners in ways in which we can get out there in our community and help to bring services to those persons we find in need. And that's the biggest part of this, is making sure we get the services out there. You know, mental health issues, the poverty rates, and all those things are impacted in our community and can be, I think, better addressed if we have a coordinated way in which to try to get out there in the community and address those problems. So I'm excited about our program today.
Yeah, today we're actually going to hear from one of those providers, and today we're specifically talking about our Spirit platform. Why do you think that's a vital component of what we're trying to do?
Well, you know, we're going to hear from Larry Bardeau, and he'll talk to in more detail about that. But as I said a moment ago, how do we connect all of our resources in our community? Is there one place we can go? And if we all go to that one place and put all the information in, who we're providing services to, and then work as a group to try to address those, that's the concept of Spirit. And I'd like to see what Larry Bardeau has to say about how we're progressing and how many service providers we have in our Spirit platform.
All right, so today we're going to hear a whole lot about Spirit. What is that platform? How are agencies in our community using it? And what does it mean for really that prevention component and intervention?
I tell you, it means a lot to those persons out there in our community. You're talking about the homeless population. We're working, trying to coordinate that effort. We're talking about persons with mental health issues and how to coordinate and how to get the services to those populations. And then just today, I've got a call from a mother who's concerned about her 34-year-old son who's in our detention facility, and he's getting out. And when he gets out, how do we connect services to him? Right. And that's what we're talking about today. How do we get services out there to our community? All
right, well, be sure to stick around, everybody. That's what we're talking about today, our Spirit platform. How are human services agencies using it to better our community? But first, let's check in with Jimmy Goodman for your Crime Tip Tuesday.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jimmy Goodman with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, and this is your Crime Tip Tuesday. How to protect your child from cyberbullying. If you discover your child is being bullied, it is important to teach him or her not to react or retaliate. You should block the bully, print out and keep evidence, talk regularly with your child about their online activities and what he or she is involved in. Tell him or her that you are going to review their online activities. Consider installing parental control filtering and understand and know what their passwords are. Always educate your children about the consequences of inappropriate use of his or her electronics. Have a great week. Be safe out there.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about LCSO's community wellness model. And joining me now is LCSO Director of Reentry Services, Larry Bardeau. Larry, what is Spirit and how is it used?
So Spirit it stands for Suppression, Prevention, Intervention, Referral Intelligent Tool. And basically, Sheriff, it has two components. One is a robust case management system, and it's also the way that we conduct our referrals and facilitate them to make sure that people that we serve the people that we serve are given the services that they so desperately need. Oftentimes our service providers, they can work in silos, and that can create some inefficiencies if the Leon County network of providers are all working in silos. It can cause inefficiencies, and some people could then fall through the cracks. We feel that this is the answer to having a healthy wellness model in Leon County, as we do use it in reentry, we use it in our deputies on patrol. we use this as a way to ensure that those who need those services are connected with the providers who facilitate that.
Now, what types of organizations are in Spirit currently, and what are we looking for? What other organizations are we looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do seek to expand, but currently we offer all kinds of services like mental health, substance abuse, employment, identification document assistance, and many more, just to name a few. Currently, we have 58 providers, Sheriff, in our network, and just over 500 users of Spirit. And we feel that this system, to the earlier point, helps us create a no wrong door approach to providing services. So the question about expanding, it's important for us to expand because if we have more people in our network and we grow our network, no matter how our citizens come across when they're in need, the hope is that they come across our network, and no matter how they do that, whether it's through school, whether it's they are in contact with a provider, whether we have them in reentry or the RISE Center, we can connect them with that service.
Some people may be wondering, what's the cost of Spirit, and how do they get involved with Spirit?
So the cost, normally, Sheriff, somebody hears the word free, they think that there's something behind that, but the Leon County Sheriff's Office covers the cost of Spirit platform. So any of our in-network Leon County service providers who wish to use this either as a case management system or referral intelligent tool, it's free for them.
Say that again, Larry. It's free.
It is absolutely free. It is absolutely free, no strings attached. The only thing that we ask is that if you have a service to provide and we have folks who need that service, that you would use our system, become a part of the team, breaking down those silos, and become a part of the Leon County Sheriff's Office network on Spirit. It's very easy to do so. If you're not on our platform yet, I can send 2 very simple links to the business. They can sign up by way of electronic, or we can send them paper copies, but we prefer the electronic method. And if somebody wants to know more about Spirit, please contact us at the RISE Center. We're located at 2966 Municipal Way, right next to the Sheriff's Office Administration Building in the old Health Department building. They can contact us at 850-274-6187, or you can email me, Larry Bordeaux, at BOURDEAUL at leoncountyfl.gov.
Well, thanks, Larry. And up next, we hear from a provider about how Spirit is making meaningful connections. Stay tuned. We're back with Louis Delbert, Director of FAMU's TRIO Education Opportunity Center. TRIO is a part of our Spirit network. First, tell us about the services that TRIO provides.
Thank you, Sheriff, for having me on here today. Well, the TRIO Educational Opportunity Center, we have several TRIO programs at Florida A&M University, but our particular program focuses on helping adult learners with services that helps them to complete and reach their educational goals.
Okay.
So that could be those who are seeking to go back to school to earn a GED, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, or some type of post-secondary certification. So we help them with various resources that they need to complete their educational goals.
Okay. Now, how has our Spirit platform impacted or interacted with your program?
Well, when we had the opportunity to join the Spirit platform, it was really remarkable because what it allowed us to do is be connected with several other services that would be beneficial for our participants.
Okay.
And one of the populations that we do serve are individuals who are in the reentry population. So our clientele who are part of our program, we can also use the Spirit platform to be able to refer them to various services that they need. So it's basically like a one-stop shop that helps us as a service provider. We work with the educational needs, but oftentimes our participants need more than just educational support. So what the Spirit platform does is it allows us to easily connect them with other resources in the community.
I am happy to hear that. That is exactly what we're trying to do. But can you give us an example of an opportunity we've had where Spirit has an impact with your program, and how successful has that been?
For example, oftentimes our clientele will ask that they, yes, they want to go back to school, but before that, there might be a need for a financial resource. So what we do is our staff can go into the Spirit platform and look for financial resources that are available to them, or social services resources. It just really allows us to quickly access contacts for our service providers so that we can then serve them and meet their educational needs. So when we're working together, then we're serving the whole client, understanding that they have various needs. So it's just the accessibility and being able to have one direct place where we can go that's easy for that particular segment of our clientele.
Now, on our show here, you have an opportunity to tell us more about TRIO. How did it get started, and how long has it been in existence?
Well, TRIO is a series of 6 programs, but started in 1965 after the Higher Education Act was passed. And so that opened up the door for access for populations, particularly from underserved areas. So we serve primarily first-generation low-income populations. And so our program, EOC, was started in 1972, and we serve, it's a nationwide program, but we serve 7 counties here in North Florida: Leon, Gaston, McCullough, Liberty, Franklin, Jefferson, and Madison.
Okay.
So my staff is very busy out there helping with college application completion, financial aid application completion, ACT, SAT prep, whatever their needs to get them into school, we do that.
Real quickly, how beneficial would it be to see more service providers using our Spirit platform?
Well, you can never have too many resources, because sometimes they do ask for things that we don't have a way of it is a little bit more challenging to find help in that area. So I think in more service providers where they join the platform, it not just only helps us, but it helps them as well, so that they can better serve their clientele. So when we have more service providers in this vast network of resources, then it makes it a lot easier for us to really serve our respective populations.
Well, Louis, I tell you, I've not heard of TRIO until my staff introduced that to me. And you guys been in existence since 1965, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And is your primary goal to reach the students at FAMU campus, or are you branching out in the community?
Well, we're federally funded grants all over the country, and so basically FAMU is a sponsor of the grant, but we serve, it's an outreach program. We do have a program on campus for FAMU students called Student Support Services, but the remainder of our programs, Talent Search and my program, we serve those out in the community, whether they're 6th to 12th graders with Talent Search or adult learners with the Education Opportunity Center. So we're more so outreach programs to expand the footprint, not just of the university, but also of higher education.
Just again, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for the great work you're doing out there in the community. And our Spirit platform, I know you're working closely with Larry Bardot, and we hope that we have a long-lasting relationship that brings some great benefits to the people here in Tallahassee, Leon County. So thank you so very much. Just ahead in our Deputy on Duty, how we're helping teen drivers avoid danger behind the wheel. Stay tuned.
On this week's Deputy on Duty, school resource deputies are instructors working to save lives behind the wheel and prevent crashes on the road.
I know they go through the school system with the driver's ed course, but this is a little more, I wouldn't say so much advanced, but goes above a little beyond what the driver's ed gets.
Deputy Michael Halligan has been teaching the Teen Driver Challenge for 15 years. He tells us motor vehicle crashes are the second leading cause of death for teens in the U.S., and most of those incidents are avoidable.
The kids, obviously, it's summertime, they'd rather be home. And luckily we have some really great parents who bring their kids out here because their parents want their children to be better drivers.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office offers the Teen Driver Challenge free of charge. It's an advanced driving course designed to provide young drivers with the knowledge and hands-on experience needed to reduce the chances of being involved in a crash. But before the teens even make it to the driving course, the 8-hour day starts with classroom time, where the deputies have a discussion on everything from aggressive driving and road rage, human factors, how to interact with law enforcement officers when they're pulled over, drug and alcohol use, and how to drive at night. Then the action moves outside, where those students learn the basics of what to do before they start their engines.
Tires are important. We actually come out here and do vehicle inspection, or have the students do it a vehicle inspection, we show them how to properly gauge a tire for air. We actually show them how to properly change a tire. We talk about where to place the car in a safe area on a hard, flat surface with their hazard lights on, and also make sure their brakes is on so the car won't roll if it gets on the jack.
And now it's time to get behind the wheel.
We have an instructor in the car with the kid at all times that the car's moving. And the instructor's telling them how to do the course properly.
Students will drive in figure eights, do emergency braking, cornering, forward and reverse serpentines, off-road recovery, evasive maneuvers, and skid control.
They get up to about 25 miles an hour, sometimes 30. And at the middle, those big two cones, you'll see where the instructor will tell them to go either left or right into a different lane, simulating that something might have pulled out in front of them so they can properly exit that lane and get into another lane, and then they have to get back in the same lane they just left. And once they get in that lane, they got to stop. We're trying to get them confident to know that if they use their brakes, the ABS system, anti-lock braking system, which is on many of the cars we have here, that they know that the car can stop.
But Deputy Halligan stresses that learning the basics is just as important as learning those advanced maneuvers.
A lot of the accidents are caused by kids just being in a hurry, ready to get home or go to lunch and get back in time. So we do a lot of backing. I've incorporated a lot of backing in this course. The kids don't like it, but the parents do, and that's important because it's just like anything. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
The Teen Driver Challenge was designed through the Florida Sheriff's Association back in 2007, and each year about 2,000 teens participate all across the state.
When they leave here, they'll be a lot more confident, not only in their driving skills, but also more confident in the vehicle they're driving.
Now, to sign up for this free course, you do have to be 15 to 19 years old with a Florida Learner's Permit or valid Florida Operator's License, and you have to have 6 months of driving experience. You can learn more details on our website, leoncountyso.com. I'm Angela Green for Leon County Today.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, seeing those teen drivers out there really not just learning basic driving skills, but really learning how to be really alert on the road, and it really does pay off. There's a lot of distractions out there that faces our drivers right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the one that always everybody talks about is obviously texting while driving, or got that cell phone in your hand and driving. And some of our kids, the younger people, us older people as well, get distracted by all the things that are taking place. And one of the things that's easy for us to do in our community, although sometimes it seems difficult, is to put that phone down and pay attention, particularly when you're on the roadway. I've seen wrecks, horrific wrecks involving kids. We used to have the old car we'd bring out and show the impact of a car crashing together, trying to get the point across to our young people that you've got to be safe out there. You've got to think about more than yourself. And hopefully with this driving initiative we kicked off here, we'll get some of the young people and some of the older folks to pay more attention to what they're doing out there on the highways and on our streets of Leon County.
Yeah, it's a really popular program always, so I think our folks are doing something right there for sure.
Absolutely. Our guys and ladies are really poised and really concerned, and that's why they go out there and do this training, to make sure that we save lives. And law enforcement, that's all it's about. Every day it's about keeping our community safe, and this is another way we try to do it.
Absolutely. And then our Spirit platform, really hearing from the TRIO program and how they are really connecting individuals to services. It really is the vision coming to fruition.
Shonda, I am excited about the potential, and I'll just say it's potential right now. It requires our citizens out there, particularly the providers out there, to join with us and engage with us and be all in to try to do something about the crime and the issues related to crime and poverty, and those persons with mental health in our community. We have a pandemic that we just went through, but we have a potential crisis on the hand with respect to guns and violence and shootings and mental health issues. And again, if we're going to address these problems, it's going to take all of us pitching in and doing what we can where we are.
Being all in.
All in, yes.
All right, thanks, Sheriff. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.